If we turn our backs and spit in his face, is God still gonna bless the USA?
There are seasons appointed by providence when men must choose whether they will stand for duty or retreat for safety. Such seasons try the worth of a cause. The colonial patriot Joseph Warren might have claimed rank and refuge, yet he chose the common danger instead. Though newly appointed, he would not withdraw. He stood where others had to stand. He resolved to serve without the promise of survival, to labor, lead, and risk all for the good of his country. By such sacrifice, courage spoke louder than victory. So it's ever been that liberty is not secured by safety, but by those willing to stand when the cost is life itself. Greetings, patriots. I'm Perry Green. Welcome to God in America, where faith and freedom stand shoulder to shoulder in the American story. Today, we turn to the 17th of June, 1775, and the Battle of Bunker Hill fought primarily on Breed's Hill, and to a moment that proved the American cause would not die quietly. This matters because courage rooted in conviction still determines whether liberty survives or fades. Just 2 months after Lexington and Concord, the colonial militia faced the full power of the British Army outside Boston. The colonists were poorly supplied, hastily trained, and technically still British subjects. Independence had not yet been declared. Under the cover of darkness, colonial forces claimed the high ground and fortified Breed's Hill overlooking Boston Harbor. When dawn broke, British commanders were stunned. General William Howe ordered a direct assault. Wave after wave of redcoats marched uphill under devastating fire. The famous order, "Do not fire until you see the whites of their eyes," captured both the desperation and discipline of the colonial defense. The British eventually took the hill, but at a staggering cost. Nearly half the attacking force, over 1,000 British soldiers, were killed or wounded. The Americans withdrew only when their ammunition ran out. Among the Americans who fell was Joseph Warren, a physician, patriot, and president of the Massachusetts Provincial Congress. Warren had been appointed a major general just days before, but chose to fight as a volunteer soldier. He died as he lived, serving others. When news reached Abigail Adams, she wrote of him with reverence and sorrow. She called him the chosen friend of my country and mourned not only his death, but what the nation had lost in his character. Her husband, John Adams, famously wrote afterward, "The day, perhaps the decisive day on which the fate of America depends, was fought." Though technically a British victory, Bunker Hill changed everything. The colonists learned they could stand toe-to-toe with the world's greatest military power. Scripture reminds us that courage is not fearlessness, it is faithfulness. Hebrews 11 verse 4 tells us of Abel with an application to Dr. Warren. And through his faith, though he died, he still speaks. Joseph Warren's life echoed this truth. He was not compelled by rank or reward, but by duty and conscience. His willingness to stand and even to die gave strength to others. Jesus himself said in John 15, verse 13, "Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends." Warren's death preached a sermon louder than words. Liberty is never free, and faithfulness often demands sacrifice. Here's our faith and freedom principle today. God-given liberty endures only when people value truth and responsibility above personal safety. The men at Bunker Hill did not win the ground, but they won the future. They proved that conviction could outlast cannon fire. Today, our battles are different, but the question remains the same. Will we stand when obedience costs us something? Like Warren, like those farmers and tradesmen on Breed's Hill, our calling is not comfort, but faithfulness. Courage stood its ground that day, and because it did, a nation was born. May we honor their sacrifice by standing firm in our own generation. Well, thank you for being with us today. As we close, let's keep the light of boldly standing for liberty burning.